Hello people, welcome back. I'm back on the bar now. I don't know if this noise is too much, so forgive me if it is, but it's a little bit of meditation music to try and make it a little bit calmer, because the neighbours are busy doing stuff today and they've got their lives to lead, so they're doing that, and obviously it's disrupting the drawing. So right, so this is where I've got to with the barn owl so far. I've already started putting in lines. You might be able to see I've also put in some background. My idea with this is to keep going with this one, to finish it on this particular paper, because I know there's going to be mistakes on here, and I want to show you why I personally prefer to transfer it over to Bristol board. And by me doing this and making these mistakes, it will hopefully save you doing it. So I'm going to keep drawing. I know what's going to happen. There's going to be dents that are going to show up that we just can't do nothing about. If we were using a different piece of, like the Bristol board, and it was transferred, then that would be fine. And we will do that at some other point. We'll do another drawing and shift it over, and you can see how that goes. But anyway, I'll get on with it. So sitting here yapping. More stick. That's what we want. Try and keep my hand away from the drawing. I'm still getting used to this new light, so forgive me if I headbutt it. You'll notice with the shading I'm using a blunt pencil. If you use a sharp one, it can mark the pad. That in itself can ruin it. But you'll see how it goes anyway. This is a 3H that I'm using, a blunt 3H. This is the white of the barn owl's face. And I want to show you how I shade it. This video might be significantly shorter to others, because just for the watching time, you don't want to be too long watching it, do you? But you see where I've put these lines, I don't want them to stand out so much, so I'll go over it with a smudge stick. These don't always work with animals, these blending stumps, whatever you may call them. If you try using them on furry creatures like foxes or big cats, whatever you may be drawing, they can ruin a drawing, because it doesn't necessarily look like this. And I know for me personally, I like having detail, and that's not detail, not for me. I like really looking at the fur and yeah, I'll spend hours on a drawing. I'd much rather spend a long time on a drawing and get it right than do it quickly and it looks really stupid. This background is going to be dark. Some of it will be almost black. Once you've started putting in some shading and you've gone over little bits here and there, you can then use what is on there to shade other areas if you want to. What I'm doing here is I'm putting in a basic shading layer to give me some idea where and what I'm going to be putting in elsewhere. And with this alone, this is going to show you where some of the dents are. Like you might be able to see them up there. They're dents I want, but there's going to be dents that you don't particularly want in a drawing, which is the whole point of me doing this, to show you how transferring a drawing from your basic cartridge paper to Bristol board can make a significant difference. Because once it's shifted over, this can be like your sketch on here can be something to try shading in other areas and see what works on it for you to put on the Bristol board. Now I want a sharp H pencil. Let's try 2H. It's going to be for around the eyes. That wall stick is doing me no favours at the minute. Oh, I'm going to need a piece of paper. There's a piece of paper. I'm terrible for this. If I need something, I'll look around my bedroom, see what's available. If that works at the time, then yeah, I'll grab that. That'll work. It doesn't always work. You have to be very careful not to put too much pressure on it, and move it when you're moving your hand across, it can smudge underneath. With the whiter areas, like the barn owl's face, decent H pencils. I actually probably use a higher H than what I'm using at the minute. I'm doing it again, I'm looking around to see what's available in my little mess. It would be more sensible for me to make sure everything's about before I start the video. You have to be careful of hairs as well when you're shading. If like Um, like me, you've got cats, the hairs get everywhere. Yeah, this is going to be a shorter video than the last one. It'll be about 20 minutes. 20 to 30 minutes depending on noise pollution. I just think short videos will be better that way. Plus it gives me a break to then come back to it with a refreshed mind. And I don't need that there. 5H, that's it. That's what we want. Yeah, that's better. You'll see this is a lot lighter than what I've just been using. It's a good idea. I mean, I'm contradicting myself because I didn't come into this session prepared, but it's a good idea to have your pencils set out. Try and look at the different aspects of what you're going to be drawing on that particular day, and have your pencils ready. I'm one for getting myself in a right mess and my pencils are all over the place. And then I'm sat here thinking, where is it? And that's not very helpful. Sure, I'm not the only one who does it. What we need to do with this beak is lighten the outline, because if you just go on and shade it, that is going to stand out a lot. If you see something on the photograph that is lighter than what you're putting in there, change it, because it will look terrible if you don't, and then you'll be going all over the place trying to fix it, and that doesn't work. Not 2H for this one. What you'll see with this is how long I actually take on a drawing. I'm not one to do it in a day. Definitely not. At one stage I was drawing a lot of Elvis portraits, and they did take me weeks to do. And there are only A5 drawings. But my health doesn't permit me to have the free rein of spending a lot of time. Can you see that? Yeah. See, sometimes when you're drawing, what you're actually drawing will look a little bit different to the photograph, because drawings, they have their own way of sitting on the paper. I know that sounds daft, but a photograph, you can look at it and think, well, you know, it's a photo, so that's how it should be. But when you're drawing graphite drawings, if you draw it exactly how the photograph is, it doesn't always look right. So you have to use your creativity a little bit to make decisions on what will work. I mean, sure, if you want to draw hyper-realistic faces of whoever it may be, you do have to follow the photograph, and something like an animal though, which, away from the photograph, the majority of people who are looking at it wouldn't necessarily know what it looked like in the original photograph, which is good because it gives you the creativity to make that drawing look better as a graphite drawing, because you've got to remember what you're drawing off isn't a graphite drawing. It's a way of training your brain to make what's on the pad work without being too intensely concentrated on the photograph. What you can do with fur, or in this case how the feathers lay, is you can put in a few lines like that there. I'm not going to put them in here because I don't need them, but if you're not used to drawing something, that it's good to have very light guidelines. Excuse me. Many moons ago I used to use guidelines that I'd put in myself. What's also a good idea is to have a notepad handy, so we can get to the end of our session today and I'll write down what I've finished off using. The kind of pencils, the Sharp 5H, Sharp 2H, Blunt HB, Smudge Stick, and if that is written down in a list, when it comes to you picking up the drawing again, you're going to be able to get those things ready. If, like me, I'm going to need to be doing the other side of the face, I can get those pencils ready. Or if I feel that they haven't worked too well, I can quickly take a note on that to remind myself, and have the different pencils prepared to try. Because I'm not going to get much more done on this today, which is fine. It's better to take time and have it done properly. But you see the difference in the two sides. There's a little bit of detail in there, but not the same as that. I could actually do with taking a note now to have a 6H, 8H at hand. My reason being is these are coming out a little bit too dark at the minute. Something like your 8H pencils, they barely put anything on the page. I'm just gonna get down this side, and then I think I'll leave it for today. But you can see the dents that I put in. They show up more. The more, I'm not saying go too dark, but the more detail you put in with the pencil afterwards, after putting in these dents, the more they're going to stand out. You've just got to get them right, because once you've dented your paper, you're not going to be able to get rid of them. I'm doing my usual, getting to the bit that I should stop on and think, oh no, I'll just do that. Won't take a minute. Half hour later, still going. And yeah, I think stop there for now. I haven't put a lot in there, but you can see by the two sides of the face that I'm it has made a little bit of a difference. Next time round it will basically be repeating that on the other side and maybe finishing off the shading on the heart part of the face, and then we can start working our way around it, because this bit there's not a lot of detailing with sharp pencils, so that won't take long. Yeah, and I think we'll leave it there for today. So if you've liked what you see, please like it, share it, subscribe. I need all the support I can get. It'll encourage me to become a more regular poster, and I'll be able to help you out more. Any questions, just post them underneath, and I'll do everything I can to help. And I'll see you next time.